All right, welcome in Powers on Sports Podcast. Remember, you can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, rate and review, tell your friends about the podcast. Got a great guest for you right now. We're going to talk some NFL, a little college football, new stadium for the Rays finally, and no better person to talk all things sports world, longtime sports media member, both in the Tampa Bay area and nationwide, Mr. J.P. Peterson, host of the J.P. Peterson Show. Mr. Peterson, welcome.
Jason, how are you, my friend? Don't ever call me Mr. Peterson, ever, ever.
Oh, Peterson. Is that Peterson from
Peterson, yes. How
from
about
Ferris Bueller?
Yes, absolutely. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. You were in the building last night. Give me a quick thought on the Monday night game, Philly and the Bucks. Obviously, Philly kind of shows their interior dominance with their power, offensive and defensive lines. But the Bucks didn't play terrible, but that Philly was clearly a notch better than the Buccaneers last night.
First of all, way too many Philly fans. Way too many Philly fans. It might have been 60-40 Philly last night, which is disgusting, quite honest. But in this economy where you could sell those tickets for $400 or $500 a pop, I guess, you know, you can't get too mad at Buccaneer fans taking a huge profit. And, you know, and I saw a lot of fans, you know, tweeting out, hey, listen, I don't want to go sit in the middle of a bunch of Philly fans, you know, and watch my team get their ass kicked. I can't blame them, you know. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but that's shameful. That's shameful that there's that many fans in your stadium on a Monday night and your fans are afraid to actually go to their own stadium.
Right.
I don't know what's wrong, how to fix that, because I can't get mad at people for taking money, especially in this crappy economy we have right now. Thanks, Joe. But anyway, that was shameful. I had no feeling whatsoever the Bucs were going to win this game. You know, they were good. That's an elite team on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Offensive line and defensive line are just elite. And that's why the Eagles, I think, are the best team in the NFC, they and the 49ers. So I wasn't fooled by that. I thought the Bucs had opportunities after opportunities to make plays, and they did not. Mike Evans drops a huge first down pass in the first drive. He catches that ball. The defender's falling down. He may get another 20. They may be at the 10-yard line. Right. And you're scoring. The place is going nuts, and you're ready to take the lead. Yep. He drops a touchdown pass in the second quarter. That ball hits him right in the chest. And by the way, why are you falling back into the end zone?
Right.
Why are you not attacking that football?
Right.
And so that was a drop. He made the great one-handed catch, and great. But those other three drops were killer drops.
They were.
Jamel Dean, my God, what are you doing, bro? Like you drop an interception that leads to the field goal at halftime. That ball's right in your hands. Catch it. Yep. You know, 2 minutes earlier, Jalen Hurts has all day to throw the football because Shaq Barrett's dropping out in coverage on 3rd and 10. Make that make sense. And he's in perfect position with Zacchaeus. And for some ungodly reason, he just takes a horrible ankle. Instead of picking it off, which it should have been that wobbler of a pass, he lets it go over his head for a touchdown. Wow, horrible. Devin White, what are you doing? He throws it right to you. You have a pick six, and I understand he had a groin injury. Dude, if you can be out there running around playing football and you decide to walk off out of bounds instead of trucking the quarterback, Vita Vea's leading the way. He doesn't. Jalen Hurts. What are we doing? Like that was a chance to turn the entire game. He throws it right to you, and I don't care if you have a groin injury or not. Stick your foot in the dirt if you're going 50% half speed and try and run him over.
Wait for the DB to come and pitch it to him. Wait for the DB, come and pitch it to the DB.
Do something. Don't walk out of bounds, for God's sakes, avoiding contact from a quarterback.
Right.
Maybe he was, going back to his social media in the offseason, how much he wanted to go play for the Eagles. Maybe he was trying to, curry favor with Philadelphia. That was brutal. And listen, if he's too injured that he can't run over a quarterback, get him off the field.
Right.
That's on Todd Bowles. Because let me tell you what, Devin White, I guess you could say it was a gritty performance to play injured. But for my money, that's on Todd Bowles. KJ Britt, I don't care how bad he is. You can't have a guy out there that's just catching guards all night long. They're running huge chunk. What good is it when a team's running for 250 yards, whatever they had rushing,
Right.
130 for DeAndre Swift. They clearly targeted him before the game, in the run game and the pass game. So, if he's not healthy, get him off the field. Because I'm going to tell you what, that tape he put out last night ain't getting him $20 million a year.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
Is San Francisco and Philly the best two teams in the NFC for your money, or is Dallas still in that mix?
Oh, no, Dallas, you just lost to the Cardinals, bro. And you were down 28 to whatever it was.
Yeah.
The Cardinals aren't as bad as people think they are. Which, by the way, for all you Buccaneer fans that want to tank, and Arizona's tanking, tanking doesn't work because the coaches and the players don't buy in. It wrecks your organization. See Brian Flores. See, it's just it doesn't work. And even if you get the number one pick, who's to say that guy's going to be a lock as the best quarterback anyway? See Jameis Winston. See 100 other guys. So yeah, but Dallas is not that team. They're not that team. As physical as that Philly team is, and
San Francisco
team, I don't see anybody beating them.
And by the way, how bad does Brian Flores look week after week with Tua doing what he's doing, and Flores is benching him back in the day and putting up, and that's not a good look for Brian Flores as a future head coach.
Was Tua there when Flores was
yes,
there?
Yes. First year, he benched him. He kept taking him in and out of the lineup.
That's right. Yeah,
kept benching him. And talk to me about the Miami story. I mean, just an electric offense down there. What a play caller McDaniel's turning into, and they're getting just enough defense. This is a real team if Tua stays upright.
Yeah, it's the big question. I think I saw a graphic from ESPN, the 6 fastest clocked players.
Yeah.
Runs all Miami Dolphins, but all 3 Tyreek Hill, Mostert, and A-Chain, they're running back.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, that team can fly. But I'm going to tell you what, I still say, Jason, physicality wins in this league. And if the Eagles or the 49ers played the Dolphins right now, they knock the crap out of them, and they knock the speed right off the cheetah. So give me those teams over the flash and dash of Miami. It's nice to throw up 70. You look pretty, you look fast, but I'll take the more physical teams any day of the week. Miami ain't running the table. I don't think they're going to be. They're a good football team. They can score points, but give me the more physical teams.
And everybody thought coming into this year the AFC was going to be so great, and from 1 to 10, the best 2 teams in the league might be in the NFC with San Francisco and Philadelphia. And obviously the AFC is wide open. They got a lot of good teams, but I don't see a dominant team in the AFC.
Well, the Bengals just don't look right with Burrow's hurt. So let's give them a little bit of a pass. They got the win last night. Their defense played really, really well. They were 0-2 last year, so I'm not going to throw them out. Burrow's
Baltimore's in.
The Ravens, wow. You lose to the Colts. I thought the Ravens were the pick this year, but the fact is their defense is not that good.
Right.
And, I think it's going to be a little while for Todd Monken and Lamar get on the same page, their new offensive coordinator. So I'm not going to, we're still only 3 weeks into the NFL season, but that one's a little bit of a head scratcher. I don't think Kansas City's great. I think they've lost a lot of depth over the years. But of course,
you got the showdown this week, Buffalo and Miami up in Orchard Park, which will be a really, really good game. And Buffalo's coming. Their defense is starting to play.
Yeah, Buffalo looked really good last week. The Commanders are not a terrible team.
No.
And they made them look like a terrible football team. That was an ass kicking. Buffalo, and here, I think Josh Allen had a come to Jesus meeting with himself. And if he doesn't turn the ball over, Buffalo's a tough team to beat. They got to run the football better. Yep. But I wouldn't write them off just yet.
And and through 3 weeks, Cleveland is on a historic defensive pace. I mean, what a job by Myles Garrett, Jim Schwartz. Can Deshaun Watson be just good enough with that offense to get them to 21 points a game? Because if they can score 21 points a game against that defense, that's going to be a tough out as well.
Like I said with the Jets will figure out how to jet. Somehow get Aaron Rodgers, do whatever you can, but they'll figure out how to screw it up, right? And I know it was an injury, but it was an injury because, on the 4th play from scrimmage, Aaron Rodgers is running for his life behind a horrific offensive line.
Right.
I feel the same way about Cleveland. Cleveland will find a way to screw. They've had a good defense. Look, they could still have Baker Mayfield and a lot of draft picks and a lot more money to spend on other players.
Right.
And they gave up on him and went and got Deshaun Watson, who's awful. he is awful. Maybe he'll regain his form, but maybe he's just lost his mojo.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Give me one sleeper team in both conferences, NFC, AFC, that you like through 3 weeks.
Well, I would have said the Bucks before last night, but I wasn't fooled. I knew they were going to lose that game. I still think the Bucks can win the division.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals were kind of eye-opening, but AFC, I'll say
Pittsburgh. Is Pittsburgh good enough to be a factor?
I thought so. I like Kenny Pickett. I like him, but that week 2 performance was a little startling. But then again, San Francisco is pretty good. Yeah, I'd say Pittsburgh. I still, if we can call them a sleeper, I'll say Pittsburgh.
All right, let's go to a subject I know you have a strong thought on. Finally, the Rays get a stadium deal.
No, Jason. It's not done. We've done. Listen, don't take the bait. Just because the Times told you that it's done doesn't mean it's done.
All right, tell us. Give us the details then. Tell us.
Listen, it's probably more done than any of the other announcements that said they were done. Like, right, they're doing the split city. We're doing the e-board thing. We're doing this. We're doing that. It's always same old from Stu, right? He gets up at the podium and and everybody cheers, and then he says, "No, I don't want to pay for it." So they've got 6 votes that they still have to go through in the county and city process. A lot of the councilmen and city and county folks still haven't seen the numbers. They still haven't seen. I saw some guys saying the other day that the public money input may be 900 million, 600 million. Like, okay, that's a little bit different. So now you're going to give $1 billion in public funding to a man who's being sued for fiduciary fraud. As are all these politicians willing to stand up and at some point maybe someone in the media is going to ask the mayor, you want to give $1 billion or $900 million in public money to a man who's crapped all over your city for a decade, who's told you you're not a major league market, who's held up the development in St. Petersburg for more than 5 years, where they could have already been doing stuff there and getting jobs for it, done things for a hell of a lot less money than it's going to cost you now. This guy who's held up that development for so long and has not been a good corporate citizen, all of a sudden, all these politicians are kissing his ass. And then are they going to answer the questions? Now you're selling the land at a discount to Stu Sternberg? Really? Yeah. And what's that deal look like? Are all these politicians going to go back to tell the voters that you're going to give $1 billion of public money to this guy? Really? Okay. Let's see what the details are. And let's see if these politicians really have the stomach. Once, I'm guessing at some point, the media will put this out to the people, what the numbers really look like. And you think the people of Pinellas County are on board with that? I don't think so. So I don't think this rubber stamping of the vote is a given. And also, let me ask you this, Jason. Have you heard anything from the commissioner?
I haven't.
How is it that there's a huge stadium announcement and the commissioner of baseball isn't standing right beside Stu Sternberg? Not only was he not standing beside him, he hasn't made a peep about
public comment. Yep, right.
Not one public comment. You find that a little bit interesting?
It is.
And you know for a fact that Major League Baseball does not want that stadium in St. Petersburg. So, and they have to put a blessing on this. The owners have to I don't know if it's up for a vote, but they have to approve where this new stadium is going to go. So I'm just going to give you a nice Lee Carso, not so fast, my friends, on this deal.
For what you know, what is the big holdup about not having the stadium deal on the Tampa side? What's been the big? Has it been Sternberg's investment into the project? Has that been the sticking point?
Here's the reason. Tampa's offer has not even been considered by the Rays because it's not enough upfront money for him. It's only $150 million upfront. And he knows he can get 600 to evidently 900 million from St. Petersburg. Okay. And for him, the deal is all upfront because he wants to sell the team. He wants to get a stadium deal done, which will increase the value of the team, and then sell the team and take all the money and run. And also get the development rights, which he's given to Hines, his partner. And I mean, There's a lot of devil in the details. He knows he can make a crap ton more money in St. Petersburg on the front end and then get the hell out of town, leaving us with a stadium in the wrong area. And
Right.
this is why I'm saying, folks, don't fall for this and do not allow him to do it. And I don't think Major League Baseball is going to allow him to do it. So I could be wrong on this, but there's a lot of things about this deal that don't add up to me. So we shall see. And I think Tampa they have a viable option. But the Rays won't listen. And Stu will not bargain in good faith. And he never has. It's all about him. It's not about what's best for Tampa Bay baseball fans. It's not about what's best for the Rays. It's about what's best for him. And I don't think Major League Baseball wants that to have them build another stadium in a failed location where their owners are still going to have to write them revenue sharing checks. I don't think they're interested in that.
And for those
leaving this market.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know the details, the new stadium is projected to be built basically right next to the old stadium, not on the water. It's not like it's a pristine setting. It's the same location. They're going to build some stuff kind of like Atlanta has with Battery Park, some retail and some condos, things like that is all part of the deal. So,
which is great. That's the concept to go with, but that doesn't change the fact that Monday through Thursday,
right,
87% of your market can't get across the bridge. They're just not. It's not that they don't want to. It's like it's during the week. We're not. It takes an hour and a half at least.
Rush hour, right?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. So if you want to exclude 75% of your market from midweek games, go ahead. But I don't think that's a real smart idea. That's not going to change, no matter how nice the stadium is, no matter how nice the things are around it. That's not going to change.
Like I said, it'd be very interesting in the next couple of months as far as all these votes and city councils. And because remember, because people don't realize this, half the money's coming from the city of St. Pete and the other part's coming from the county. So it's not all, lots of different people have to vote on things.
Multi-layered.
Yeah, multi-layered. So, so stay tuned if you're a baseball fan and obviously a fan of the Rays, because the stadium deal is not a sure thing. All right, let's slide over to the college football world. A couple things, we'll get you out of here. What'd you think of the obviously a great college weekend? Florida State, Clemson, Notre Dame, Ohio State. Give me a thought or two about those two games.
Well, Florida State gets a huge win at Clemson. That was 4 years coming for Mike Norvell, probably 2 years quicker than I thought it would be. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And they went down to Clemson and got a win, played their C+ game probably, and still got the win. It's a tough place to play. Clemson's not as bad as people think they are. That was a hell of a win in a hostile environment. And, Jordan Travis was beat up. He couldn't run. They knew it. They were pretty limited offensively to jump balls. They couldn't get the running game going. But I thought it was a gutsy effort. That team fights its ass off. Couple blunders by Clemson. That's okay. It's happened before to FSU. So huge win for them. They get a week off.
We get the benefit of a missed kick.
Yes,
we get the benefit of a missed kick.
Yes. Wide left, baby. Let's never let them forget. I felt bad for that kid for about 5 seconds, but it didn't last. We've been there, and it was but hey, that's football. And then you got to go out and get the win. Great throw to Keon Coleman in the corner in overtime. And then, Clemson kind of shot themselves in the foot there a little bit, but okay, we'll take that win. You not apologize for going on the road to Clemson and getting a win. So that was huge. Boy, how does Notre Dame lose that game with 10 guys on the field?
Oh my God.
2 plays? Are you kidding me? Wow. Notre Dame's good enough to get to the playoff. And that's good. Boy, Marcus Freeman, I think he's a great young coach. He'll be a great recruiter, but man, you cannot have lapses like that late in the game. That was inexcusable.
How do you not have some kind of signal for somebody to fall down, act like you're hurt, act like you have a cramp, something. They stop play. How does that not happen? He comes out Monday and says, "Oh, we're going to put in a signal now to take a penalty if we only got 10." Are you kidding me?
Dude, that's awful. That was awful.
Oh man!
But hey, and then Colorado gets their clock cleaned. I saw that. I saw some stuff on Colorado, or actually Oregon, put out a video today. I retweeted it about all the junk that Colorado players were talking before the game, and that was some nasty stuff. And so that was a little F around and see what happens to Colorado. Because they got their clock clean. I think Oregon, they tried to, at least from the video I saw, of course, they edited it. So that it was a lot of crap talking by Colorado players before
Uh-huh.
the game, and that fired up Oregon. And I think it also fired up Dan Lanning for that pregame speech.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he was spot on. So anybody
yeah.
with a problem with that speech has never been in a leadership position, number one.
That's right.
And, and then, and Prime was right after the game. He's like, yeah, you better get me now because this is the worst we're going to be. He's going to have a hell of a program. He'll be at Colorado for 2 years. Then maybe it's Alabama or some blue blood program he'll get. But yeah, that's the future of college football, folks. It's Coach Prime.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's made a lot of headlines, and I'll give him credit. He took his humble pie. He admitted he got his ass kicked on Saturday. He wasn't, but he made a great point. Get us now because we're going to do nothing. Once we get some linemen, look out.
That's right. Yeah, he's gonna be the best recruiter in the game. And guess what? This just in: recruiting Jimmy and Joe national championship. He's got good coordinators. He brings in the NIL money. He's the best businessman and showman in college football. Yeah. That's all. And with the transfer portal and NIL, that's always going to be a recipe for success. So if you think, Deion Sanders a flash in the pan and he's not going to be successful, I will vehemently disagree with you.
No, I agree. And one other thing on college football, I think it's good. It's good for the sport this year that you probably have 8 to 10 teams that can win it all.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Not a 2-team horse race.
NIL, people said was gonna make the richer, and I said no, because money is an even playing field, right? If now Tulane can afford, if you got one booster with a billionaire and wants to spend money, they can both buy players just like Alabama can, because all these
FSU taking no money to go to the ACC, they're funding it themselves,
right? Because they know they just got to have a platform like Deion, right? Get a Power 5 platform. We'll pay the freight for the NIL, because we're 60 million short of TV money. Fine, here's a check. For some people that's they got the money, let them do it. But that's even the playing field. So you're going to see that's why there's more parity now, because all these teams have great facilities, right? Yeah. Some a little bit better than others, but now if I'm getting $1 million from SMU, that's just as good as that $1 million from Alabama. So I think it's very interesting how that the parity is coming more to college football because of the portal and NIL.
And the SEC is clearly not the dominant conference this year. They've got good teams,
the
not
Pac-12
great.
is. How is the last year of the Pac-12? They're the best conference in football. How crazy is that?
I know, that is sick. Well, JP, great work, man. Tell everybody where they can find all your great work online. You can find JP at FanStream JP on X and Twitter. Tell all the great folks where they can find your show.
Yeah, just Google the JP Peterson Show. We're on all the podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify. Please subscribe. We do 2 hours live every day, 10 to 12, Tampa Bay sports-centric stuff. We're an independent voice. We're not corporate media at all. So all this crap that I'm talking here, we talk every day. And plus stuff you won't hear other places, quite frankly. So join us each and every day from 10 to 12. We're live, and then on the podcast platforms as well.
Well, JP, great work, man. We'll be in touch as we move through the football season, and let's get our Bucks to a playoff. Can we get our Bucks?
I think that's going to happen. A great show, just like us. You guys are an independent voice. I love it. Keep doing what you're doing. Good stuff.
And how about we seeing Jameis this week in New Orleans? How about that?
Oh my God, that's going to be the best. That is going to be so much fun. The Jameis Bowl in NOLA. Oh man, so watch out. He can. People want to dump on him. He can play. He can play.
You think the Jets wouldn't love to have him right now?
I don't know why they didn't go get him. How stupid are they? Well, they're really stupid.
They are. Really. When you're bringing in Trevor Siemian, you're really stupid.
Oh my God. Well, good luck to them, and I can't wait for this game in New Orleans. It's going to be fun.
Keep up the great work, man. We'll be in touch.
Same to you, Jason. Thanks, buddy.
Got it.